Now, to be locked in is to be in a state of excellence within your craft, absorbing yourself in what you love and excelling at what you do. So today, let's talk about some footballers that are locked in this season and are breaking down the doors when it comes to taking over the world of football. Well, kind of anyway. And first up on the list is none other than Danny Welbeck. At 33 years old, this man is still somehow making an impact in the Premier League. From a young up-and-coming striker at Man United to now lacing his boots on the beachfront, Danny Welbeck has been crucial to Brighton this season, even through this side's inconsistencies. Another season of adding to the reason why Danny Welbeck has been an underrated striker in the Premier League for so long. We've seen time and time again strikers come and go and have moments, but this guy has stuck around and his brilliance is shining through time and time again, with one of my favourite stats from him this season being an average of 1.48 tackles made per 90. Not only is this above average, but it just shows the type of football that Brighton are playing at this moment. The whole team is really getting involved to receive the ball back and hit teams on the transition, with Danny Welbeck being at the helm of most of the attacks, scoring against the likes of Spurs and Man United since the start of this season. But without his partner in crime or sidekick during this season, none of this would have been possible. So we have to talk about Kairo Mitoma. Now, from a homegrown talent to a guy that was born in Oita, Japan, Kairo Mitoma has been taking the league by storm for the past 2 or 3 seasons now. And he's also been another direct factor into Brighton's recent success. And after battling through injuries here and there, it seems like he's back in full flow. Watching Mitoma just brings me pure joy. Even when he's twisting and turning defenders from a team that you support, you just can't help but marvel at his finesse. The close control, precision and calculated movements puts him in an upper echelon when it comes to wingers in this league. These traits being the key factors in why he's so brilliant. Since the start of this season, he's averaged 6.81 progressive carries per 90, which is exceptionally high when you look at other players in the top 5 leagues, putting this skill at a world-class level for Mitoma. But that is not all he offers for Brighton. Mitoma seems to be a conductor of play at times, linking up with his attacking counterparts and also helping out on the defensive end. And that's why I think the perfect word to summarize his play is versatile. This guy can offer you something through every second of a 90-minute game. With 1.59 blocks per 90 and 1.74 tackles per 90, this guy is clearly putting in the effort to help out the team. And I think these stats in particular summarize what kind of player Mitoma is. One that goes into battle with honor.
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
Now, from the beach in England to the home of the Grand Prix, racing cars, we just need to talk about Monaco for a second. Now, Monaco are perched at the tippy top of the French league, and I think I can see why. This is a team now filled with young promising ballers that are ready to go to war for their manager Adolphe Hutter. And it looks like these guys are finally clicking, with ex-Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun starting off the season nicely with 3 goals, and his rotation striker Breel Mbolo also helping out with 2 assists. But this squad has talent throughout the entirety of it, with the wide men in this side causing real problems in the league this season. Ben Seguir is one of these players that is influencing this team week in and week out. A Moroccan gem in the making. At just 19 years old, he is putting up great performances with 2 goals and 2 assists. But they also have another promising winger, Akliouche, who has averaged 4.72 shot creating actions per 90 for the last 2 seasons. And yes, this is the same guy who put up an amazing performance against Barcelona in the Champions League. And it's not just the young promising wingers that are doing it for me, it's the core, with Zakaria in the middle shoring things up, Minamino also pulling strings, and this youthful back line that is filled with promise, with the likes of Mohamed Salisu, who is only going to get better. This team has started off this season locked in, but I just hope that they can continue this run of form. And personally, I'm not going to jump the gun and say that this team will go on to cause an upset in the French league this season, because let's just calm down a little bit. Previously, we have seen a little golden age from Monaco when they had the likes of Falcao, Mbappe, Bernardo Silva, Fabinho. You know, this was the blueprint. And if they can even, get a little bit of this team's success, then it will surely be, a successful campaign for Monaco. Now, if Christian Pulisic's name was Cristiano Pulisicina, then he would be getting all the hype right now. Pulisic has 5 goals and 2 assists since the start of this season, but I think it's his in-game impact that is really making me say, maybe this guy has the right to be called Captain America. Because Milan haven't had the best start to this season under Paulo Fonseca. He currently leads the side in GA this season, but I think if we get the ball rolling with Rafael Leao this season too, this can be called one of the best winger duos in football right now. And I think it's mainly about consistency when it comes to Milan's front three and their midfield. This rotation of playing Morata or Tammy Abraham up top is not really doing anything, and it's not going to break down any doors for AC Milan this season, especially when it comes to contending for the league. His ability to not only carry the ball but break defensive lines is clear to see, and he's another one of these players that is not only leading their club side but also in their national side too, because his form is translating onto the international stage. And overall, I think if AC Milan are going to have any success this season, it's going to be from the hands of this guy and also this guy too. Now from Italy to Merseyside, I think it's only right that we talk about Ryan Gravenberch. Now Gravenberch is proof that the eye test in football actually works. Because if you haven't watched him play and you just took a look at his stats, you'd be thinking that this guy was playing, I don't know, the bench. Not really impacting on the goals or assist front. You need to take things into context and realize that he is being deployed this season as a 6. And it's like ever since Rodri got injured for Manchester City this season, Ryan Gravenberch has stepped in his place as the tippy top of central defensive midfielders in the league. And I think it shows when you just look at Liverpool's recent form. Gravenberch has been crucial to transitioning the play for Liverpool this season and can seamlessly turn defence into attack. And for me, one of his best performances came in the Champions League against Bologna, where he completely ran the show. And I think the evidence is there too, because he's averaging 7.15 progressive passes per 90 as a defensive midfielder. Usually with a lot of defensive midfielders in the Premier League, you get them playing safe passes side to side, consistently just recycling the same movements over and over again. But with Gravenberch being deployed as a central defensive midfielder for Liverpool, he's implemented some sort of dynamism into the midfield. And especially as he's a creative player that has been pushed back into this reserved role. The stat of 7.15 progressive passes goes hand in hand with his 2.75 progressive carries per game, which is also a clear demonstration to show that if there's no options, he can do it himself. And how many times have we seen it this season where Gravenberch is stuck in a tight spot and he just wriggles his way out and is now found, you know, in this space where he can look up and now play passes to the likes of Diaz and Salah. And I think the one word that perfectly sums up Gravenberch in this new Arne Slot system is thriving, because these traits of defensive solidity, ball progression and playmaking are making him a vital part of this Liverpool side. And I think for Liverpool fans, he's turned into this hybrid of Wijnaldum, Fabinho and the likes of Coutinho. Let's see how the season unfolds and check back in with Gravenberch come the end of it. Now from a young player stepping up and doing the business to an old head that is rolling back the years, we have to talk about Robert Lewandowski. Now Lewandowski heard all the haters when they said that he couldn't do it in a big league, claiming that all Lewandowski's goals came in a farmers league. But now he's moved to Barcelona and seamlessly has transitioned into the goal scoring machine we all knew him for. And it's like this guy is just getting better and better and reaching new heights. And after a somewhat stale campaign last season, even though he still did score a lot of goals, he's come back into this new season under Hansi Flick and he's turning up. He's locked in. He's doing TikTok dances. He's ready.
I'm not a fan anymore of Robert Lewandowski. I don't like, nah, bro.
With 14 goals and 2 assists this season, the German regime is fully underway and a Polish guy is leading it. With these dynamic wide men beside him, Lewandowski is only going to get better this season. And I think Barcelona's main weakness is the midfield and the defense, because their attack is sorted. The inconsistencies at the back are the sole reason for Barcelona's upsets, with a lot of the goals conceded being directly attributed to the goalkeeper and the defensive line. But the attacking front three can hold their heads high. And another guy that I have to shower some praise on is Rafinha. With all the attention surrounding Lamine Yamal, especially after the Euros, and rightfully so, Rafinha is still there, putting in the work and being consistent. Time and time again I thought he shied away from the big games, but watching him game after game this season and just seeing how he's progressed,
I want to apologize.
5 goals and 4 assists in La Liga this season, but also just his help on the defensive end, coming back, never stopping running. This guy is a hard worker, and he's not only shining at club level now, but he's also shining on the international stage. He has averaged 5.62 shot creating actions per 90 since the start of last season, and has also slowed down when it comes to the progressive carries. And this is due to the fact that Hansi Flick wants a lot more efficiency from his Barcelona players. When you got 2 wingers in Lamine Yamal and Rafinha that are portraying the exact same traits, eventually people are going to find out how to stop you. So we're seeing when Barcelona play, these two are displaying such altering traits where Rafinha will dip into midfield, pick up the ball and drive, and Lamine Yamal will hold the width out wide, and then they'll just seamlessly switch, and both will switch roles, switch wings at some points, and just be having fun. Now, from one shot creating merchant to another, it's time that I finally put some respect on Cole Palmer's name, because statistically Cole Palmer is one of the best players in Europe right now. With 6 goals and 5 assists in his first 7 games in the Premier League, he started off the season red hot. 4 goals against Brighton and a hat-trick of assists against Wolves. I think the perfect way to describe Cole Palmer right now is high volume, and this is because he is the key factor, the cog in this young, youthful Chelsea side. Without him, this team doesn't really fully function, because he's the one that is pulling all the strings. It's like asking an orchestra to just play off the dome without the conductor, and Cole Palmer is that guy with the stick waving it around. Watching Cole Palmer is like seeing an academy baller go play 7-a-side with guys that just finish work and also just go to the pub after the 7-a-side match. Averaging 5.90 shot creating actions per 90, Cole Palmer is proving again that last season wasn't just a one-season wonder. He's here to stay and cement his legacy in this league, inserting his name into the top bracket of attacking talent in the Premier League. But I think there's a whole other video that I could make about Cole Palmer, so let me know in the comments below if you want a fully dedicated video to all his performances this season and the reason why I think he shouldn't be compared to the next player on this list. And that's because they're not even the same position. Now, Bukayo Saka is another player that was inevitably going to be locked in this season. This season, Saka has averaged 8.11 shot creating actions per 90. This puts him in the top 5 for all players in the top 5 leagues. And with 7 assists and 3 goals since the start of this season, I think he's really taken the allegations of him not being world class and said, you know what, I'm not having this. He's one of these guys that has just become inevitable now and goes hand in hand with the upper echelon of players in this league. And time again, we think that he's going to slow down and start the season off slowly. But no, he proves again that he's not here for just a long time. He's here for a good time. An honourable mention in this list has to be Brennan Johnson, who ever since deactivating his Instagram has gone on an amazing tier of form. But I think it's just form. We'll see when he eventually does slow down for Tottenham. I hope not, because I do see potential in his game. He strikes me as a very classic winger. You know, them types of Lennons, them Walcotts, them guys with just blistering pace and they just finish on the transition and also just put the ball across the box. Brennan Johnson is doing that, and he's not only doing it for Tottenham this season, but also he's transitioning that game into his international playing too for Wales. So he also goes in the bracket with Brian Mbeumo. Now, Mbeumo is another one of these players that doesn't really get talked about enough because he's at a small side, but he's got 6 goals this season. It's hard to ignore, and also he's developed this weird knack of scoring within the first 3 minutes of a game. I think many people think that he's already on the age where he's about to retire, but no, this is a young baller. You know, maybe just because his hairline's a bit messed up. Watch him. We're gonna see. I'm not gonna judge too quickly, but he is locked in this season too. So yeah, these guys this season have been locked in, doing all that they can to contribute to their club's successes. But there is so many more players that we can talk about. So let me know. Comment some players that have started off this season amazingly, locking themselves in, focusing on what they want to achieve and doing the business. And remember, it's not just football players that are locked in this season. You should be locked in too. So if you have a goal, if you have a dream, you better lock in, because we have under 70 days or nearly 70 days left of this year. Go for it. Do it. Lock in to your mentality, whether you're an aspiring footballer, writer, you just want to lock in on the fitness journey, you can do it too. This of course has been Jib Rules, back with another video. Make sure you leave a like, comment and subscribe, and you can also support the channel even more by becoming a member. And as always guys, stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.